Oh, ladies and gentlemen, 2020 has been such a weird year. Arguably one of the worst, but also oddest years I've ever been around for. And I've been on this planet for almost 23 years now and counting. And I said, you know what? I haven't uploaded on the second channel in about a week or so. So let's just bunch up all of the important stories together before we get the July update where, World War III is going to break out and murder hornets overtake the entire United States. I'm not joking, okay? So before we jump into the video, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to drop a like. I appreciate you stopping by here on the second channel. It's kind of my way to wind down and kind of just talk to all of you guys that isn't associated with my primary channel. If you're new, of course, hit that sub button and that bell. Let's roll into this. So speaking of World War III, there actually is potential for that, and I'm not joking here. Now, do I think it's going to happen based off of this situation? No, not necessarily, but you never know, okay? So North Korea and South Korea have a demilitarized zone. Most of you guys know this because my demographic is around 20 to 30 years old, but if you don't know, North Korea and South Korea basically have this demilitarized line separating the borders between one another so one of the countries doesn't overtake the other. All right, so with that being said, North Korea has basically disobeyed the demilitarized zone and even burned down a pretty significant building that held negotiations between North and South Korea. So it seems like North Korea is not playing around here, and it is potential for some type of world conflict because both of these countries actually have allies with, a variety of other countries throughout the world. There's connections between North Korea, there's connections between South Korea. We are actually allies with South Korea. So yeah, just to gauge it, there's a lot of politics involved, but just know that World War III can definitely break out if North Korea, kind of gets more aggressive as time goes on. We just have to wait and see. Now, on a lighter note, ladies and gentlemen, I know I just talked about a world conflict that can basically end the entire world, but let's talk about Joe Rogan, because apparently today he was going to be canceled because he mitigated the importance of wearing masks. Now, listen, Joe Rogan, he says some pretty ridiculous stuff. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I listen to him all the time, and I feel like when you're on, hours on end with, someone else on a podcast, you're gonna say some stupid stuff. It's just bound to happen. If I talk to you guys for 2.5, 3 hours straight, I probably would say something just so stupid and ridiculous that it just doesn't make any sense. And imagine Joe Rogan doing that, 5, 6 days a week, right? So the odds are definitely in everyone else's favor to cancel Joe Rogan based off of some stupid things he says. Now, I'm not here to cancel Joe. I love Joe Rogan. I listen to him all the time, but there's a minority group of people that want to basically cancel him along with canceling everybody else. And I think it's a pretty common thing now in our culture where we have social media. If there's 4 or 5 people that heard Joe Rogan say something stupid or not accurate, he's trending on Twitter every now and then. And today he was, because he basically said, masks don't do anything. And he was on a podcast with Bill Burr. I don't know if this was today or maybe yesterday. But Bill Burr basically said, listen, Joe, I'm not about to talk masks with somebody that, is smoking a cigar with the United States flag in the back of us. And, we both aren't qualified for this information. So I kind of can get behind Bill Burr there. Joe Rogan, he's going to say some stupid stuff, not a big deal, but people wanted to cancel him, and that's why he was trending today on Twitter. Do I agree with his mask statement, Joe Rogan's mask statement? No, I don't. I think we still need to have them, especially with the spikes going on in the United States, especially. Now, the other story, and I'm kind of all over the place here, but I just wanted to show you how crazy these past 7 days are. Belle Delphine, one of the most popular e-girls in the entire world, has finally returned, and she returned with a music video. Now, listen guys, if you guys don't know who she is, she's basically the e-girl that started e-girlism. I don't know what to call that. I just said something stupid. Look at that. But basically, what she has done is created a business by basically taking pictures of her feet and making herself look like an anime character, and also making herself look like she's 15 or 16 years old. Now, listen, if you're into that, you can get, contacted by the authorities, but I believe she's over 18 years old. But with that being said, she's basically made millions of dollars doing this, literally taking pictures of her feet and eating food in a, I would say, not even seductive way, just a dirty way. Like, I think it's pretty sloppy, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, she has returned and actually ripped off 6ix9ine's music video, essentially, and the lyrics are actually pretty damn good. She's actually in the past even finessed people. I believe if she got 1 million Instagram followers, she promised everybody to basically make some type of scenes on the hub. And yeah, she basically reached 1 million followers on Instagram. I believe it was Instagram. It may have been YouTube, but either or, she finessed them and did not upload anything to the hub. So she basically got clout for, you know, I guess just tricking the simps that followed her. But yeah, she's a businesswoman. She's very, very smart and very intelligent. And I think that's why she's succeeded so much, because a lot of these people, and I'm going to say mainly guys, but maybe if you're a girl and that's your thing, hey, you know, you probably got the OnlyFans to her, because she also, on top of her music video, released her OnlyFans, okay? In the same music video, she called everybody that subs to her OnlyFans or buys her OnlyFans a big Chad, okay? So she knows what she's doing. She's got the business nailed down. And yeah, I think that video has around 2 million views at this point. And she basically dissed all of the simps that bought her stuff in the past. I mean, it's pretty hilarious. She even called herself a taxpayer. Like, the lyrics are really fire, okay? In my humble opinion. And now, am I gonna buy the OnlyFans? Hell no, I got better stuff to do with my money. But it's pretty interesting to see that she just made this huge comeback. Everybody's talking about her, including myself. And even, you know, if you're not going to buy the OnlyFans, it's pretty hilarious because everyone's still talking about her, even if she doesn't get everybody to buy the OnlyFans. She's getting even more publicity this way. The music video was half decent. It was actually pretty solid. And the fact that she was able to push her OnlyFans now, you know, only time will tell before she buys like a state or something like that, right? So yeah, she's making bank, she's making stacks. I mean, just to gauge it, her OnlyFans, I believe, is around $35. If not, it's her Patreon as well. They might be both priced around $30 a piece. So just gauge it right there. I mean, if there's like, let's say 1,000 people, that's literally like $30,000 a month. Now imagine 10,000 people. Like, the numbers can be, you know, the sky's the limit, right, with this chick. So yeah, it's pretty hilarious to see. And yeah, kudos to Belle. She knows what she's doing. She's, you know, very, very good at this craft. And I feel like there's basically two sides to the story. There are the simps, right? And then there are the people that are just impressed with this business. There's probably like a very small percentage of people that just hate her, which is, you know, I mean, you really can't even hate on her at this point. She's just hustling. And, you know, honestly, if it were up to me and I could take pictures of my feet and send them to people and get $30 per sub per month, I'd be doing that in an instant. Follow your boy on OnlyFans at Cryptix Lewd. No, I'm just joking, guys. But yeah, that's the other story. And then the last one is kind of, you know, I don't really play PS4, but this next story, I think, has just been the talk of the town for the past 24 to 48 hours, and it's about The Last of Us 2. Now, this video game released about 24 to 48 hours ago, and a lot of people are very disappointed in the story. And as a matter of fact, let me just backtrack a little bit. Before this game even released, about 2 to 3 months prior, there was basically like leaks. So you could find out what has happened in the first half of the story and actually the very end of the story as well. And there's some characters that die. I mean, the game's out, so I can basically say it, but I'm not going to, just in case some people haven't actually played the game and they do want to. Yeah, basically some significant characters die in some pretty interesting ways. If I were to compare it to anything, it would have to be like a show such as Game of Thrones, where people are dying left and right in an unpredictable way to subvert expectations. And I'm not really a fan of this type of storyline and this type of strategy to shock the audience. It can work in certain circumstances, but the deaths usually aren't significant, and that's kind of what The Last of Us 2 falls victim to. So essentially, you know, a lot of people didn't like the story, people are pissed off, and the most hilarious thing is that the critic rating, so the people that actually get the copy of the game for free to review it, basically like, you know, companies such as IGN and stuff like that, they're going to rate the game a 10 out of 10. I believe the game was rated like a 9 point something. So now at this point, everybody's got access to the game, and now they can upload their own user rating, and I believe the user rating is around 2 to 3. So I mean, obviously, the general public doesn't like this game, doesn't like the storyline, and even some people are saying the gameplay is basically a walking simulator. Like, they could essentially have made this game some type of show instead of actually a game, because the gameplay is lacking innovation, there's some bugs, there's people that can just lie prone, like your character, basically the character you control can lie prone in front of an enemy, and the enemy won't shoot you, so there's that. There's definitely some type of, there's really no skill gap at all, especially based off of that exploit. And the storyline aspect is great, the production value is great, but the gameplay isn't there, and it's just apparently not enjoyable. Now, am I going to play the game myself? No, because I don't have a PlayStation 4. I potentially will move to the PlayStation 5, and then I'll be able to actually play the game with backwards compatibility. So yeah, that's essentially where we're at with that, and I don't think The Last of Us 2 is going to be a very popular game for that much longer. It seems like it's going to be a dying flame that no one really is going to play because of the leaks, but also because of the trash storyline. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been 2020 in the past 7 days, and honestly, I don't know what's going to happen in the July update. Like I said, murder hornets might overtake the United States. I mean, in all seriousness, there are more important things going on in the world. I think we all can understand that, so please stay safe. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Cryptix, just shocked at what's happened in the past week alone, and signing off.